Now that my troubleshooting is done, I am going to save my even light scene again. And then I am going to go to Save Scene As. And we will start out with morning light. Morning light is fun, and I thought that I would start with this because morning light can be really bold. Depending on the time you're thinking of, what you may get is a nice sunrise effect where you've got red and orange rays coming in from the sun, maybe some blues scattering around an interior room like this, so you can go a little bit bolder with the colors, and I thought that that would be easier for you to see as a starting project. Now, the way that I've got the shadows set up in this scene, it doesn't look terribly like morning. The shadows are a little too short. So the first thing that I want to do is take my key light and move it a little bit. I'm going to back up a little bit further from the scene, and I might also move to a slightly lower angle. And when I see my shadows starting to get a little bit longer, maybe around here I can start to see a nice long shadow coming in. Then I'll stop moving the light, and I will hop back into my perspective view. Now I can see that my light is all the way back here. I could probably move it a little bit further back. I'm going to do that with my Move tool, and I prefer to move in local mode rather than world, so I'm going to Control-Shift right-click and switch this over to Object, and now I can just pull the light back a little bit further and see if that will lengthen my shadow even more. That looks pretty good. Now you have a couple of options for light color. The first is that you can come in and you can start using a light temperature. If I start with my key light and I know that I'm going for sunrise, I know that I'll be going a little bit lower. So maybe around here, maybe even lower. And that's giving me these peachy tones. I could exaggerate even more, take that all the way down to red. That looks like fun. Sometimes this looks a little bit flat, and you may want to not use the color temperature, but just go in and start picking colors that you think are interesting. So maybe around these nice red oranges I can come in and just start tinting my light saturation. Either way you do this is not going to be bad. You'll get similar effects both ways. If you feel that you have more control by using the light color, go for it. If you feel that you have more control using the color temperature, do that instead. The key light is going to be my principal color provider. So I'm going to go pretty bold with it. The fill light I'm going to leave right where it is. Not going to reposition it at all, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is the general sense in the scene. So if I'm getting red coming in from the sun, I probably want to use a contrasting color here. Maybe something in the blue to purple range. And I just want to tint it a little tiny bit. Just a touch. Just a little smidge. And so now I've got this nice pale purple coming in from above. The last light that I've got is my backlight. The backlight is those rim lights, those really punchy tones that just hit those edges and give you a little bit of glow. So for this one, I'm going to come in with a really strong yellow color. I don't want my colors to be too similar, but I do want them to blend, and I'm getting maybe a touch too much contrast here. So I might come back in and move that a little bit closer to those orange tones. Maybe I'll go a little bit stronger here with the color, and then I will pop up my intensity. And hey presto, there we have it. That is morning light. So again, I'm using the same 3 lights that I had before. You could go even fancier here. So this is pretty good, but it still looks fairly orange, like I've got a big wash of orange over the scene. I maybe am not getting quite enough purple from my fill light. So this is a great time for me to come in. Again, I will pause my render. To make things simple, I might just take my fill light, duplicate it, move it over a little bit. Maybe I will angle this one just a touch, just a little tiny bit. Come all the way down here. Maybe I'll even look in from the front. Go back to my perspective view. And because I never want to use the same color twice in lighting, on this copy of the fill light, I'll come in and I'll make it really blue. Right in there. And now I'm starting to get more variations in my color. At this point, I probably have a little too much light in the scene. So again, I'll go through with my troubleshooting and find out how I can reduce the overall illumination. Maybe my copy of the fill light is a little bit too strong, and instead of 15, it needs to be down around a 7 or an 8. And that way, it still gives me a little punch, but I'm not getting that strong illumination from it. And that might help me break up my light tones. The more lights you use, the more risk you have that you get overlapping shadows or some kind of other nasty effect. But the more you get to come in with really specific colors and start having fun with the space in the scene. So this is a great time for you to go off and experiment with some of your lighting. Have a good time and try to make something that looks to you like morning light.